Ladies and gentlemen, before we jump to the conclusion that political dynasties are inherently harmful for democracy, we must first ask ourselves the big questions. What truly defines a healthy democracy? It is not simply the absence of family names in democracy. It is the freedom of choosing in a voting system. It is competitiveness, and it is accountability. Political dynasties, often demonized as threats to democratic ideals, are in fact not such a simple phenomenon. It is far more complex than that. In many cases, these families have deep-rooted experience, public trust, and institutional knowledge that can help drive long-term development and ensure continuity in governments. Democracy is not about who should or who shouldn't run in a voting. It's about allowing the people the freedom to choose of who they believe is best, regardless of last names. This opposition believes that political dynasties are not inherently harmful for democracy. And in many contexts, they may actually even strengthen it. In many cases, they bring stability, institutional knowledge, and public trust that new faces try so hard to build up from scratch. If we truly care about democracy, let the people decide, not this house. But first, I want to address the definitions and arguments made by the proposition side. First of all, misrepresenting the core of democracy. They define political dynasties as blood-related families holding many major positions in government. And they claim that this leads into a democracy of, and I quote, a monarchy hiding behind a veil of ignorance and corruption. While we do agree that a political dynasty refers to families who hold office all across the government, be it at the same time or at the different times, this does not automatically mean that they do so by force or through illegal means. In a functioning democracy, these individuals are still subject to freedom of votes, public scrutiny, and constitutional limits. We find this definition unnecessarily alarmist, overly broad, and presumptive of harm. 2. Overgeneralization of harm. The proposition also said, and I quote, "The Marcos and Duterte family, a big cobweb of political powerhouses, puppeteering over the whole nation." Using specific cases of political abuse does not prove that all political dynasties in the world are evil, just like said examples. That's a sweeping generalization fallacy. If the Marcos abused power, the solution is simple. It's in strengthening the institution and prosecuting abuse, not banning all families from democracy entirely. Let's not throw the baby along with the bathwater. And third of all, the unproven claims about voter apathy. The proposition side said, and I quote, "Why would people have any incentive to vote knowing that it doesn't matter in the end?" This assumes that voters are naive. Voters have agency. They can, and they do, vote dynasties out of democracy. Even in the Philippines, dynastic candidates lose elections when they lose public trust. We can take a look at the Philippines Aquinos in 2016. Voter apathy doesn't just arise from mere political dynasties. They arise from various forms and reasons, such as poverty, education gaps, and disinformation. You see, not all dynasties are corrupt. Corruption, nepotism, and abuse of power are problems of weak institutions, not simple family names. In Japan and South Korea, we can look at their leaders. A lot of the leaders in both Japan and South Korea comes from political families. But by allowing so, their legacy allows them to maintain foreign relations, to secure investments, and to maintain stability of changing a policy without an abrupt change every single term. The proposition paints an overly dramatic picture using extreme cases and moral panic. They use things such as all dynasties lead to corruption, or all dynasties disempowers voters, or even all dynasties suppress merit. But we, on the opposition side, believes otherwise. We believe that dynasties are not inherently undemocratic. As a matter of fact, they are products of it. 2, the real solution lies in institutional reforms, but not discrimination by family names. And 3, voters deserve the freedom they choose. That is the true core, the heart of democracy. So instead of restricting choices, let's empower institutions, educate voters, and uphold accountability, regardless of someone's last name. We are proud to oppose. Thank you.